In math yesterday, we were talking about division. We had started it and we could see how it relates to multiplication. And we were working on equal groups to help us divide out a number to find whether how many were in each group or how many equal groups there were. Now today what we're going to do is take a look at arrays. Do you remember how to make an array though?
Yeah.
Is this an example or a non-example?
Non-example. Non-example.
Why?
Because it's equal groups.
Okay. What if I did this? It doesn't go with this problem.
Yes.
Is that an array?
Yes.
Yes. How many rows there are, equal numbers in each row. Okay, so let's take a look at problem 3. Problem 3 and 4 go together. How can I tell they go together? They're different problems, but how can I see just by looking really quickly without even reading it, how can I tell they're kind of related? Reese?
They have the same numbers and the same.
Right. 20 divided by 5 equals 4. Is that what you were looking at too? Because that's what I was looking at. Anybody else looking at that? All right, so we see it's the same exact problem. But do you think they're going to have us do something different with it maybe?
Yeah.
Let's read to find out. Problem 3. Draw an
Array.
to show 20 divided by 5 equals 4. Use words to describe your array. First, just draw your array. Show me how you would make an array using, oh, I took my writing utensil off, using that information. I'm going to see if you can figure this out before we talk about it. How many rows do you have? Class?
Yes.
Are you making 20 rows?
No.
No. In our array, how many will be in the whole thing?
20.
20. So, how many rows could we make?
5.
Maybe 5? Or what other number of rows could we make? 4. If you do 5 rows, how many need to go in each row? 4. What if you did 4 rows? How many would have to go in each row? 5. Show me your array if you don't have it finished. How many do you have going across? There you go. Is that lined up well? You're a little bit off, aren't you? I'm just gonna start out with 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Am I correct? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. How many will I need to put in each one of my rows then?
4.
4. Does that go with this? Okay. How many of you did it different than I did mine? Okay, a few of you did. All right. Now, how many are in the total? Let me start over. How many squares do you have in your total array, everybody? 20. There's 20 there. You split yours either into 5 rows with 4 in each row, or you split it into 4 rows with 5 in each row. Does it matter which way you did it? No. Over here, it says draw a different array to show 20 divided by 5 equals 4. So if you did 5 rows here with 4 in each row, what are you going to do over here?
4 rows.
4 rows with 5 in each row. But what if you did 4 rows with 5 in each row? What are you going to do over here? 5 rows with 4 in each row. So you're just flip-flopping that 5 and the 4. So it's like you're taking this array and you're going to turn it on its side. So if you did 4 rows first, over on the right side there of your paper, do 5 rows. If you did 5 rows first like I did, now you're going to draw 4 rows. So you're going to end up with 2 arrays. You getting that second array?
Yeah.
Okay. We're ready to move on. You had 4 here. What do you need to have there this time? 1, 2, 3. All right, so if you drew the 4 rows, 5 in each row the first time, then your second array should look like this one. If your first array looked like this, 5 by 4, your second one will be 4 by 5. everybody have theirs completed? Because I need to X out of that to be able to slide my page up. So let's talk about this. How can drawings of equal groups, arrays, equations, and words all be used to describe what a division problem means? How can all of those things be used to describe what division problems mean? What are you thinking, Haley?
Like, they each have their own way of doing it, but then, if you do it right, like, if you have equal groups, then you can do that, and then it should help you, and then, but if it can't, then you could try, like, arrays or equations.
So use one of those strategies that helps you be able to solve it easier. Okay. What were you thinking, Connor?
I was thinking that, like, they, like, they have this, like, to explain it by numbers is that the way to check your is by doing 20 divided by 5 equals 4 because 4 times 5 equals 20.
Right, using that strategy of multiplication to help us make sure that we solved our division problem correct. Okay, you're absolutely right. All right, so we talked about 5. Let's move down to 6. So I want you to use whatever strategy you need to help you find 42 divided by 7 equals what? What's the strategy you're going to use to solve this problem? And then write a division, I can't talk today. Write a division equation and tell us what each number in that equation, kind of what it stands for, what it's telling us in that problem. All right, so show me any model, any strategy that you need to use or you want to use to solve 42 divided by 7. All right, go ahead and be working on that on your paper. 42 divided by 7, and you have to figure out the quotient, because when we divide, the answer is called the quotient. What's the answer called?
Quotient.
Quotient, yes. So go ahead and show me what you're going to do to solve that problem. Could you create an array?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sure. Could you do equal groups?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. What whatever is going to help you figure out, solve for that quotient. Because we have a missing number in here, don't we?
Mhm.
Our goal is to have a total of 42. That's how many there are all together. So if you could say, I'm going to put 7 in each group. How many groups do I have? Or if I have 7 groups, how many are in each group? We're still trying to solve for that unknown number. Looks like most of you were doing equal groups. Not everybody, but the majority. So we have to have how many all together?
42.
42. If I put 7 in each group, 2, 4, 6, 7. There's one group, right? How many is that? 7. If I do another group like that, now how many do we have?
14.
Now if I have 3 groups of 7,
21.
how many do I have? Good thing Connor knows his skip counting. Another 7.
28.
Another 7.
35.
35.
Am I to 42 yet?
No.
So I need to do another group.
42.
Oh. So there's 42, and I put 7 in each group. How many groups did I create? Let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I have 42, because it told me to write a division equation, right? 42 divided by 7 equals, what did we decide?
6.
6. And I know my multiplication facts because I've been studying, and I know that 6 times 7 equals 42. So I'm right. Let's break this down, because you have to be able to explain what each of those numbers means in this problem. 42 is what?
The
42 represents the amount that we start with.
Yeah.
How many we start with.
42.
What does 7? What does that have to do with the problem? 7 is what? What did I do with those 7?
You have to put them in a group.
There are 7 in each group. What does 6 mean in this equation? There are 6 equal groups. So 42 in this division equation is how many we start with all together. 7 was how many I put into each group. 6 is how many equal groups there are. Okay, we'll keep talking about that. When you know how in multiplication we talked about factors and the product?
Yeah.
Division is different. The big number that we start with, it is called the quotient. Sorry, that's the answer. I got ahead of myself. I was thinking backwards. It's the dividend. Dividend.
That's a weird name.
The number 42 divided by 7. This is the divisor. And 6 here, that's the quotient. So instead of having like 2 of the same, like the factors and then the product, we start out with our big number, which is the dividend. The number that we're dividing that by is the divisor, and the answer is the quotient. Words that we'll have to keep using and using and using to get those locked into our brains, right? They are hard words. The words might be harder than the actual division itself. Next page has the apples on it. They always do food. That's just rude. So their example says draw a picture and use words. Remember how we talked about that? What the 42 was, what the 7 was, and what the 6 was. That's what they mean by using your words, is explaining what each of those parts of that division problem are. Look at the division equation they give us. What is it? 15 divided by 3 equals 5. Notice how they give each number a different color. The 15 is red, the 3 is blue, and the 5 is green. So it says there are 15 apples in 3 baskets. Each basket has 5 apples. That's the example. All right. So we started out with how many altogether? 15. 3 tells us there are 3 equal groups. 5 tells us there are 5 in each group. The way they have this picture drawn, 15 is what we start out with all together. They're broken into 3 equal groups, and there are 5 in each group. That's how you would write it in words. It's a lot of writing, but the more you write, the better you remember things. Let's look at the frogs. We're using this picture of the frogs on logs to answer problems 1 through 4. So check them out. Don't say anything out loud. How many frogs are there in all? Looking at problem 1. Write down how many frogs there are in all. That's our dividend. You got that? Everybody, how many frogs are there in all?
8.
I agree with you. There are 8 frogs in all. Now, how many logs are there? Write that number down on part 2 here. Everybody, what did you write down for how many logs there are?
4.
Okay. Now, how many frogs are on each log? Write that number down. Everybody, what did you write for problem 3? 2. We're going to use this information to create a division equation about the 8 frogs in 4 equal groups. So what are we going to write first?
8.
8 divided by
2.
4 equal groups. 8 divided by 4 equals
2.
2. Let's double check that. Let's work backwards. Friends, what is 2 times 4?
8.
So is our division equation correct?
Yes.
Yes. Now let's talk about it using our words. 8 tells us there are, what does the 8 tell us?
There's that.
How many frogs in all? What does the 8 tell us?
How many frogs in all?
What does the 4 tell us?
4 equal groups.
4 equal groups. And the 2 tells us
2 frogs on each group.
2 in each group. Amy, you going to join us? All right. The more we talk about it, does that make sense?
Yeah.
The big number is how many there are in all. The 4 in this case told us how many equal groups there are. And then there are 2 in each group. Let's look at the tennis racket and tennis ball page. Read the problem with me, please. A class has 20 students. The teacher divides them into groups of 4 to play tennis. How many groups are there? Draw a picture. Draw your picture right now. There are groups of 4. So there's 4 in each group, right? You have to figure out how many groups there are. If there's 4 in each group and there's 20 students. Write a division equation that shows the work that you did. All right, how many students are in each group? 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's our first group. But there's more than 4 students, right? How many students are there?
20.
There's 20. So I'm actually going to be skip counting by 4s. So if I do another group of 4, how many students does that make? 8. Then another group of 4 is how many?
12.
Another group of 4 is how many?
16.
Another group of 4 is how many?
20.
Oh, all right. So now, can I write my division equation? The quotient, sorry, I said it wrong again. The dividend is 20. The divisor is 4. And now the quotient is 5. So how many groups are there? 5 groups. Let's talk about this. Each of the numbers in this division equation. What is, no, you know what? You're going to talk about this. So you turn and talk with Amy. You turn and talk together. Turn and talk together. Turn and talk together. Talk about what the 20 is here, what the 4 is, and what the 5 is. I'm going to be listening to see if you're catching on to what each of those parts is.
So the 20 is how many there are in all.
Okay, you tell him what the 4 is this time.
How much
And then the visor,
What's the 20?
The equator
No, in this problem,
equator
there's 20
is how
in all, right?
the
Starting
equator
out with 20
is
altogether.
how many groups there are.
4 is telling us what?
And how many
How many are in each
and
group?
5
And the
times
5
4
is
equals 20.
how many equal groups there are. Good for you to focus. Class, class, class.
Yes, yes, yes.
All right, a lot of us were struggling. The 20 tells us
How many there is in all.
how many there is in all. Exactly. The 4 tells us
How many in each group.
exactly how many there are in each group. So then the 5 tells us what?
How many groups there are.
How many equal groups there are. We'll keep practicing this. Problem 6. Whoa. Parker says that this array of 18 rectangles shows the division problem 6 divided by 3. What's his mistake? If we have a division problem like this, did he start out with 18 in his division problem?
No.
What did he start out with?
6.
Oh, what should he have started out with?
18.
He should have said 18 and then what?
Divided by 6 equals 3.
Okay, or he could have said 18 divided by,
3 equals 6.
yeah. Okay, this is actually showing 18 divided by 3 equals 6. So his mistake was not using the right amount to start with in his division problem. Yeah. We're going to skip that for right now. Okay, here's what we're going to I think we'll wait on this. Close your book. Put it back in your crate. Get out your whiteboard, your marker, and your eraser. Let's do some more skip counting. Let's practice that again. Yesterday we worked on 3s and 4s. Let's skip count by 3s together today through 12, 12 times, not through 12, but 12 times. So starting with 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. We're spread out far enough. I want you to pull your mask down so I can watch you counting. 3s again. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. Let's review 4s. I was trying to think of what I was going to have you do. But let's review 4s. Okay, take 3s out. Put them to the side. Time for 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48. Let's do it again. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48. What did we do yesterday after we practiced those? We wrote them down. I want you to write your 3s and your 4s. The multiples of that, like how we just skip counted them, write those down again as a quick review. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to get all of them done. You're getting a little more than 2 minutes because I forgot how to, I keep hitting the wrong one.
Do we have to do 4s too? Or do we just
3s and 4s. down to 10 seconds. Okay, did you get them? Go ahead and do your last one really quick.
I got done and I had 1 minute left.
You had time to spare, huh?
I have 15
I got done
seconds
in the
left.
I got done in the belly.
All right, now let's read through what you wrote. Look at your numbers. Let's read them. Looking at your numbers, right? Are you looking at me?
No.
You didn't write on me, did you? I'd look like a fool. Okay, here we go. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 28. Hold on.
You said 28.
I did. I got off. I was looking at
I thought we were
I jumped to 4s, didn't I?
Yeah.
Oh, duh. All right, let's start at 3s again. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 33, 36. All right, jump down to 4s now, and I won't miscount this time. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40, 44, 48. How'd you do?
good.
Good. So got the majority of them correct, or whoa, I was way off. All right. You ready to step it up and work on harder
Yes.
skip counting multiples?
Yes.
Even if you're not ready, we're going to. Yeah, you can erase that if you want to. We're gonna go to 6s. So here's what I want you to do. As we count these, because 6s, 7s, 8s, they start getting a little more tricky for us. All right, so here's what I want you to do, is as we count them, write them down. Okay? 6, write it down.
Wow.
12, write it down. 18, write it down. 24, write it down. 6 times 5. 30, write it down. 6 more from that. 36, write it down. 42, write it down. What am I on?
42.
Oh, 8 now. 48, write it down. 54, write it down. What's 6 times 10?
60.
Write it down. 6 times 11?
66.
Write it down. 6 times 12?
72.
72, write it down. Okay, so now, looking at your board, let's go through those 6s a few times. Are we ready? 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, 72. Again. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, 72. So who can tell us what is 6 times 7? Can you use those multiples to help you figure that out? Definitely. 6 times 7 is?
42.
6 times 9, look it up. 6 times 9 is?
54.
6 times 12 is?
72.
6 times 1 is?
6.
All right, let's count them again. 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, 72. Leave that on your board. Let's go to sevens.
Okay. Are we gonna write them as we say them?
Can you figure out the first one, or do I need to tell you?
7.
You guys knew it. Give yourselves a pat on the back. I'm so proud of you. Smart little cookies. All right, so you got 7?
Yeah.
All right. Can you at least figure out the second one?
14.
Oh, you don't need me. You got this. Should we work together though?
Yeah.
All right. 7, 14, 21. If you don't have 21, write it down. So now that's 7 times 4, 28. Write it down. After 28, it's 7 times 5. 35. 7 times 6, or 6 times 7, is 42. 7 times 7 is 49. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 9 is 63. 7 times 10 is 70. 7 times 11 is 77. And 7 times 12 is?
84.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You're right, it's 84. Okay,
6s and 7s kind of go together because 42, they have the same. And you would just add 1 for 48.
let's skip count by sevens. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70, 77, 84. Let's practice that again. 84. You got 84? All right. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42, 49, 56, 63, 70, 77, 84.
That's a lot of numbers.
That is a lot of numbers. All right, we are going to, I'm going to have you, we just have a few minutes until we need to get ready for lunch. So I just want you in your mind or whisper it to yourself. No, I know what we're going to do.
What?
Do you like to hear yourself talk? I don't like to hear myself talk either. But you're going to listen to yourself talk as you read through those. You're going to plug your ears, and I'm just reading in my normal voice, but I hear myself, and I'm only going to hear myself as I'm counting by my 3s or as I'm counting by my 4s, because when you have your ears plugged well, it blocks out everybody else talking when you're talking. Try it. Just plug your ears right now and just talk. Just say, hey, how you doing? What's going on? I'm so ready for lunch. I can't wait. My stomach's growling. take your fingers out of your nose.
Ears.
Oh.
Ears.
I told you to put them in your ears?
Yes.
Oh, all this time I thought you were supposed to have them in your nose.
No.
All right, so here's what you're going to do now. Practice through your 3s, your 4s, your 6s, and your 7s. Go through each one 2 times,
Okay.
okay? Plugging your, not your nose, right? Don't put your fingers in your nose.
No.
Okay, plug your ears and talk in your normal voice, just like you would be having a conversation with somebody sitting beside you, because you're only going to hear yourself skip counting. Ready, set, go.
3,